In a previous video, we used this cabinet to demonstrate Century Components Signature Series adjustable rollout shelf hardware. And so in the cabinet we installed the pilaster here on the sides, and also we attached what the manufacturer calls its X brackets. We attached those to the drawer runners. And now in this video, we're going to install the drawer slides into the cabinet by using the X brackets that are on the runner. So let's just install one right away and see how simple it is. We install the back of the runner first. The X brackets are already on it, and then slide the front in. So there's a Bloom runner right there installed. We'll do the one on the other side. Installing it into the Century Components X bracket system. And there's the Bloom runner installed. The Salici and the headache. Now that's the easy part. Well, let me take a breath here. I need to point out that this Century Components rollout system for adjustable shelves, adjustable drawers, can be used with side mount slides. But in this video, we're featuring it with the undermount slide because, well, for me, I think this is the most common slide used and the most practical. The undermount runners that I'm using in the video, they are specifically for drawer boxes that are made out of material that's a 1/2 inches thick up to 5/8 of an inch thick, but not thicker than that. So we are making all our calculations based on drawer side material of 1/2 inch to 5/8 of an inch thick. For most of the cabinet builders, figuring out how long to build the box is pretty easy because they're going to build the box exactly the length of the drawer runner they order. So if they order a 21 inch, then they're going to have the box as long as that, exactly 21 inches. Or if it's an 18 or a 15 or a 12, the box will be as long as the slide you order. Now when you order the slide, it's telling you how long to build the box. It is not telling you how long the runner is. Usually the runner that you get when you order this, like if you order a 21 inch, you're going to get a runner that's 21 3/8 inches long. So just bear that in mind. That's drawer box length. Most people don't have trouble figuring that out. But with undermount slides, the question comes up, how do you determine drawer box width? Manufacturers of undermount or drawer runners want you to use the interior drawer box width when you're making your calculations for building the box. It will not matter what the outside width of the box is as long as you're not using material thicker than 5/8 of an inch. So this video will use interior drawer box width in calculating how to build your box. And so with this Century Components rollout system, I have two little clips here that are showing you my favorite way of determining how wide to build a drawer box for this rollout system. So let's take a look at those two clips to start with. Now this is my absolute favorite way to calculate interior drawer box width for these rollouts on the hardware. I measure between the pilasters. Now in this example, my distance between the pilasters is exactly 308 millimeters. So all I got to do now is deduct 48 millimeters from the 308, and it's going to tell me that the inside of my box is 260 millimeters. So when I'm building the box, 260 millimeters, and all I had to do is measure between the pilasters for that number. And now for my second favorite method, which is almost as good as my first favorite method, to give you a very harmonious outcome. Measure the distance between the X brackets on each side. You will discover that it is 302 millimeters. Deduct 42 millimeters from that, and you have an interior drawer box width of 260 millimeters. That's my second favorite method, which, as I said, is almost as good as my first favorite method. And now let's get on to the rest of the video. Well, let's talk about the drawer box a little bit. The boxes that I built for this application and the boxes that are used on these drawer runners are for drawer runners that will accept drawer side material of 1/2 to 5/8 of an inch thick. You cannot go over 5/8 of an inch thick. Now, so let's talk about the bottom here. The bottom of the drawer box, in this case, I have 1/4 of an inch. But you could use 3/8 or 1/2 an inch. You can use pretty much anything you want on the bottom of your drawer box. Now, there's an advantage to using drawer bottom material thicker than 1/4 of an inch. And I did this for you to see. With these front locking devices, if you have a drawer bottom material that's thicker than 1/4 of an inch, you can take advantage of these holes and secure your front locking devices to the bottom of the drawer box. Now, I have a 1/4 inch bottom in this, so look what I get if I use 1/4 inch. Now, I have my screws popping through. So I think it's a really good idea to use material thicker than 1/4 of an inch, because the screwing to the bottom of the drawer box is really advantageous. Now, if you are using a quarter inch bottom, as many people are, then you're going to have to put your screws into the subfront at an angle instead of into the bottom of the box, like this. All right, so that's the bottom of the box. Now, what about the side height? How tall can you make this box? Well, you can do whatever you want. I like the height that I have here, but you can go 7 or 8 inches or whatever you want. You have to allow 1 inch space. You got to make this drawer side 1 inch less than the opening that you have to get the drawer box to go in. That pretty much would apply industry-wide on getting your drawer box into the opening. Now, another thing to take into consideration is the bottom recess. You don't have any option. Bottom recess under the box is always going to be 1/2 inch. This is to accommodate the runner and these front locking devices. 1/2 inch is required there. That's for these locking devices and the slide. So bottom recess, 1/2 an inch. And then you'll notice the notches here in the back of the box. Well, manufacturers will, some will say a minimum of 35 or a minimum of 30 or a minimum of 2 inches for the notch. And for me, it's always going to be 2 inches, because I don't want something to go wrong. If I switch it, and maybe one of the manufacturers has a push to open device that requires some space. You always got to be checking. I never go less than 2 inches on this notch. And you should check your manufacturer's literature. If you're using a push to open or something, it might require more. So 50 millimeters is my recommendation, but it can go whatever the manufacturer says. Another way to do it is to not have anything back here. Just take it all off. And then you don't have to worry about whether the notch is wide enough or not. Now, since we're looking at the back of the box, you'll notice these 2 holes. There's a jig for that. I got it right here. Let me show this to you. Here's the jig. It's a little jig. Every manufacturer has one. And it goes on the bottom of the box like this. And then you hold it like that and run a drill in, a 6 millimeter drill bit. That's for all the drawer runners that I'm using except one. I don't like that. They're using a 7mm one, but most of them are going to use 6 for that. And then you could buy a jig for attaching this. So that's for making the hole to receive the hooks on the back of the drawer runner. In order to make it easy to see how to achieve the correct drawer box width, I'm going to remove these runners. These just happen to be the Bloom runners, and screw them down to the work table here. I'm going to square them up and set them at 302mm, and I mounted it down here on the worktop to match exactly what it would be inside the cabinet. This is the X bracket from Century Components, one here and one here, and this is the runners, the side of the runner. And we're going to demonstrate how to calculate the inside of the drawer box. Most of the manufacturers for this type of slide want you to calculate the inside of the drawer box. So let's do that. Inside of the cabinet, we have 302mm. That's this distance right here. From this upright to this upright is 302mm. And we want to know what is the width of the inside of the box. How are we going to do that? The manufacturer says deduct 42mm of the distance from here to here. And I want to give it a little bit of a warning. I have seen this on YouTube, and I don't think it's a good idea. I know that 302 minus 42 is 260mm. And some people are saying you can get your interior box width by measuring this. It ain't going to work. You're going to be off by 5mm for sure, 5 or 6mm. Don't do it. Use the manufacturer's instructions to calculate inside drawer box width. Here's our box. This piece is the inside of the box, and this, let me just drop this on here. So this represents the inside of the box width here, and this is the length. And because I'm using what I have here is a 21-inch runner, 533mm. The actual metal component is longer than that, but the box length for this piece right here is going to be exactly 21 inches. What we want to know is, what's this piece? How wide do we make it? Well, it's simple. Whatever this is, 302mm minus 42 means this piece right here will be 260mm from here to here. And all you have to do then is tack your box together, and it'll fit perfectly on the runner. So I have the box. I'm going to slide it into position. There. It works perfect. And that's how it's going to work inside of the cabinet with the Century Component hardware for interior rollouts. Here it is, Century Components interior rollout system. It's the Signature series, solid maple pilaster, and then the X brackets. How easy is it to switch the drawers up and down the location? We're just going to switch 2 of them. Let's take the headache out and switch it with the Bloom. And then they can be adjusted up or down for various locations. Pretty good system, I think. This Century Components Signature Series X bracket for adjustable interior rollouts. Well, I hope you endured this video. If you liked it, do the thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe.